Hello everyone and welcome back to Explosive Hits Hexbug Battlebots. The carnage continues in this week's matchups, which feature some top tier bots, fan favorites, and some brand new competitors. So let's take a look at today's fight card. We've got another great lineup today. Bronco, the king of the flippers, will be looking to take on the destructive spinner of a Ring of Fire in the middle of this episode.
We're also going to see Boltergeist, who did not compete last year. They're going to be facing off against War Easy, who's brand new to the competition.
Yeah, War Easy is one of 3 bots we'll see this episode that are complete newcomers to this competition. The other 2 are Jackpot and Total Chaos. Neither of those are in tonight's main event, however, which is Witch Doctor 2 versus Bite Force, a pair of powerful vertical spinners who have somehow never fought each other, but they will tonight.
But first, we have an immovable object up against an unstoppable force. Tangerine versus Tombstone.
Now, normally I wouldn't describe Tombstone as an unstoppable force, but this year they've gotten a weapon upgrade, like a huge weapon upgrade. They noticed their motor was pretty weak, too weak to actually compete in explosive hits, in fact, so they had it replaced with a new motor. And this motor was a little bit too powerful for them. They couldn't control their bot while the weapon was spinning when they had their normal batteries, so they had to get one of the blue batteries that Monstrosity uses. So they have an upgraded weapon being powered with the same voltage that Monstrosity has. They've gone from mid-tier to the most powerful horizontal spinner in the competition, and Tangerine is going to have to stand up to that in our first fight. Let the bot battle begin. Tombstone self-destructs right from the start. But the back leg of Tangerine is off. Tangerine still found a way to use it. Oh, he's getting underneath and pushing Tombstone into the wall. And
Tombstone going for a ride.
Alright, there are all the pieces of Tombstone, but now Tangerine's missing a piece. Alright, you see some damage at the end of Tangerine's wedge. There was a big hit to the side. Oh, Tombstone starting to cut away. You can already see some damage, but they gotta get away from the corner. That's what Tangerine specializes in, is pinning its opponents against the wall. But now he's starting to rip apart the wedge. The Tombstone would just stop hitting the wall. Maybe they could do some real damage to Tangerine. Tangerine almost got them in the screws.
Tombstone's doing a pretty good job of hitting the side of the Tangerine.
Man, look, there's something to rip up the... Man, I don't think I've ever seen Tangerine make this much damage. There goes a piece from the side. Tangerine's strands are starting to become more exposed. Let's see if Tombstone is able to take a piece on one of those. Uh-oh, he's got Tombstone in the screws. Tombstone escaped. Now they're getting hammered. They have uprisers to break their weapon. Oh, is Tangerine trying to send Tombstone out of the arena? We're not even halfway through the fight, and Tangerine has taken a lot of damage. Still got both threads, though.
Uh-oh. Tombstone's weapon stopped.
With great power comes great responsibility. Back on. Tangerine trying to pin them. Tombstone continuing to hit the wall. Is that weapon starting to cause them to go out of control?
With powerful weapons, there may be some battery issues.
Okay, I think I saw a piece of the screw come off. I mean, Tombstone might be ahead from this point. Look what they did to Tangerine. Maybe they might want to just play it safe from this point on. Or maybe they can get greedy and try and rip that last piece off of Tangerine. What last piece? What am I talking about? Tombstone's also very fast. So it looks like Tangerine is having a hard time getting underneath them. Maybe turning off their weapon actually helped them because it gave them more control. Tombstone is unresponsive here. That weapon upgrade came with a few costs. Tangerine continuing to engage. They're trying to push him to the screws.
I think we're looking for a countdown.
10, 9,
Come
8,
on, Tombstone, you can do
7,
it.
6, 5,
Somebody get the AED.
4, 3, 2, 1. There's a knockout on Tombstone with 14 seconds left, and he starts switching back to life, but it's too late. Tombstone, what happened? You were doing so well, but then everything fell apart.
It's possible that the motor they were using was too powerful for the battery they chose, and it just ran out of power too soon.
That seems like a likely solution to me. Give credit to Tangerine for being able to stand up to it for that long. Their front wedge got absolutely destroyed, but they kept their treads on and survived long enough to win the fight.
Given how fast Tombstone is, I'm surprised Tangerine was able to put that much pressure on them.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I noticed something from the moments when Tombstone was being pinned up against the wall. They never shut off their motor. Even when their blade was jammed and they couldn't spin it, their motor, you could still hear it trying to spin. Now normally if you're pinned against the wall and your weapon can't spin, you're supposed to shut off your motor so you don't drain your battery. Because when a motor gets jammed like that, it can be extra harsh on the batteries. So what do you think? Do you think Tombstone keeping its weapon on and stalling its motor is part of what led to their downfall here?
That's absolutely possible, but I think we need to get a closer look to determine what went wrong.
Well, is that smoke? Yeah, I think you're right. We do need a closer look at this. Alright, after that fight, we have taken a look at Tombstone, and I don't know if you can tell in here, but that motor started smoking. We saw smoke escaping from the chassis. There's still some coming out now. Either way, that is not a good sign for Tombstone. They might be out of the competition now. I'm just kidding. We'll find a way to fix it somehow, I hope. So, Tombstone burns up in its first fight and is now unsure of what the rest of the season is going to look like for them. Meanwhile, Tangerine gets a strong first win, and this makes me wonder what other powerful bots they're going to stand up to this season.
Up next, we have the Claw versus Jackpot, a control bot versus one of the most interesting dual weapon designs we've seen. They have a huge vertical spinner and a lifter up front, but unlike Whiplash, their spinner doesn't move with the lifter.
The Claw also changed their design in the off-season. Their grabbing arm is now shorter. This is to make it harder for bots to escape from its grasp when it clamps down on someone.
It's going to be interesting to see these different designs clash. Let's head to the box and watch now.
Let the bot battle begin.
Jackpot with a slow start.
Who's got the low ground? Uh-oh. Well, the Claw is the low ground in the back.
Oh, is Jackpot going out of the arena?
They might get stuck there. Jackpot's trying to use its lifter arms to fend off the Claw. And now they're getting shoved into the screws. Uh-oh. Oh, their spinner took off both claws of the Claw.
The Claw's definitely showing control in this match, though.
Yeah, but Jackpot's winning damage. The side pieces of the Claw are gone. Now Jackpot looks like they're cloning pretty slowly. Uh-oh, are they stuck? Jackpot's weapon is shutting down. The Claw trying to grab onto Jackpot. Are they able to do it? They're still able to grab on somehow. Even without the claws.
The Claw's definitely showing the advantage to those treads.
Uh-oh. They're getting Jackpot in the screws again. Now Jackpot, they almost got stuck.
That was a close call.
And now they're getting underneath again. In the corner. Pulverizer. Getting some action in there. Alright, it looks like the Claw actually has the low ground in the front now. Oh, that was a good hit by Jackpot. Can they turn this fight around? I'm not sure. They're getting stuck on the screws again.
There goes a piece of Jackpot's claw.
Oh, Jackpot is getting to the side. Let's see what they can do here. Doesn't look like much. Jackpot is just falling apart here. They're getting pulverized. A lot of damage in this one. I like it. But the Claw just seems so aggressive here.
It's hard to see on the camera, but it looks like Jackpot lost his back piece.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. Oh, that was almost a lift by Jackpot. Oh, Jackpot flips the Claw, and now Jackpot is stuck on his back.
A double flip.
Jackpot can self-hide. I'm not sure if the Claw is going to be able to get out of there, though. Their weapon is out of the arena, partially. 10, 9, 8, 7,
What an
6,
upset.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a knockout on the Claw. The rookie bot Jackpot takes down a Season 1 veteran in its first fight. You know, there's something I like to tell every bot that doesn't have a self-idle. If you don't have a self-idle, don't fight a lifter.
Either that, or you better be a really good driver.
The Claw actually drove pretty well for most of this fight. It really felt like they were controlling the action throughout the entire thing up until the end.
Yeah, you're right. The Claw was really pushing Jackpot around, grabbing down on them, and they even found a way to do some damage.
But sometimes it all comes down to who gets that first knockout shot, and in this case, that was Jackpot. So this is a disappointing start for the Claw, but they've still got 2 more fights. Maybe they can turn this season around. Up next, we have everyone's least favorite lifter versus a knockoff Bite Force. Black Devil is a bot who has actually shown improvement every single year. They change their weapon all the time, including this year. They've got a much more solid spinner that should hopefully hit harder. They've had a few different wedge designs over the year. They always manage to make the round of 16. In fact, every single year they've made it into the round of 16. There aren't a lot of bots who can say that they've done that. So this bot is definitely a decent competitor. They're going to be taking on Toadal, who had one of the stupidest performances we'd ever seen last year. They started their season with a win against Huge. In fact, it was one of the most dominant wins of the season, but then they lost their next 2 fights because they got stuck in the screws. So this bot hasn't really done anything impressive in its career, but maybe that will change this season.
I think you're too hard on your bots.
They get what they deserve, and now we're going to see which one of them deserves to lose. Let the bot battle begin. Toadal with a box rush, trying to get underneath Black Devil, but Black Devil quick to turn that around to get to the side. Black Devil with an early pin. It's going to be a battle for low ground here. Toadal looks like they're not having much luck lifting Black Devil from the side. Oh, they got it there. Black Devil loses the piece. Alright, I don't know if I've ever seen Toadal flip a bot over an explosive hit. Let's see if they can do it this year. Black Devil trying to get its piece back on. Oh, there's the flip. Man, Toadal just walked up to him and thrown him right on his head. Now he's sending him into the wall.
Fortunately, Black Devil can move upside down, otherwise it could be a counter.
Now Toadal flips him over again. Black Devil looks like it might still be able to get to the side of Toadal. They just gotta avoid the front. We're just even flipping a piece off of Toadal.
Looking to be a close match so far. Damage is even.
Black Devil trying to get Toadal in the screws. They take off the glued-on forks.
And another pin.
But their weapon is shut off. That's something to keep your eye on. Oh, now it's back on. Now, the thing about those forks on Toadal, they don't just help it get under opponents when their flipper is up. They actually prevent the bot from flipping itself over while it lifts another opponent. And now without those forks, they might not be able to lift Black Devil anymore. So there's a strong start by Toadal, but now it might be hard for them to stay ahead in the final minute of the fight. It's been a very interesting match so far. Uh-oh. Black Devil with another pin on Toadal. Toadal is stuck on that back panel, and Black Devil is just pushing them further onto it. If they can't get out of there, there's going to be a knockout. Well, unless Black Devil keeps engaging. Alright, you see them free. Oh, never mind. Black Devil just trying to get as many aggression points as they can while Toadal is stuck on that piece. They may not just count it out. Oh, Toadal gets free, but they're in the hands of Black Devil who's pushing them around the arena. Alright, here they go. They escape. 15 seconds to go. Toadal looks a bit confused. Toadal is actually pushing Black Devil onto the piece. and he's using his flipper as a hammer, but also being pushed around by Black Devil in the process. That will conclude this very close fight.
This fight ended much differently than the way it started.
Yeah, it started off going well for Sword Toss a lot. They were getting underneath Black Devil and even managed to flip them over. We've never seen Sword Toss a lot flip a bot on its head before, so this was a major accomplishment for them.
After a minute and a half of controlling Black Devil, things changed when Sir Tossalot lost its forks.
From that point on, Sword Tossalot could not lift Black Devil, or else they'd risk flipping themselves over. So from here, Black Devil was free to just push around Sir Tossalot as much as they wanted and control the action up until the very end.
Black Devil really wanted to make sure they won the decision. They even prevented a countout in favor of more aggression points.
And it might have worked. Let's hear this decision right now. The results from the judges are in. We have a split decision. Judge 2 scored the battle for Black Devil. Judge 4 scored the battle for Sword Tossalot. Judge 1 scored the battle for your winner, Black Devil. Well, it was close, but it looks like Black Devil gets another win.
Black Devil is known to stick around to the end of fights. They've only been knocked out once, and that was in Season 1. And it's looking like they'll have a similar performance this year.
Up next, we've got Ring of Fire taking on Bronco. Now, the thing about Ring of Fire, actually, I could tell you, but I think it'd be better if I showed you. Here are some images of some of Ring of Fire's most destructive fights. You can see that there's just pieces all over the arena in all of these. Ring of Fire is known for causing a lot of destruction in its fights, both to its opponent and to itself. And we're probably going to see the same thing again here.
Hopefully they don't self-destruct too much here. Otherwise, they'll become an easy target for Bronco.
Let the bot battle begin. Alright, Bronco, one of the sport's top competitors, looking to land some flips on Ring of Fire. They didn't even
Or just push him into the screws.
Ring of Fire is severely dismantled and may be done at this point. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, they're starting to move. They're kind of, they can't really turn though. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a knockout. Well, there was really only one hit that mattered in this fight, and that was when Ring of Fire hit Bronco and lost both pieces and a tread.
From there, Bronco was able to push them into the screws, and they were disabled 12 seconds into the fight.
I guess Bronco thought it wouldn't be a fun way to win if they didn't land any flips, so they decided to toss Ring of Fire around before the countdown ended.
Those treads do provide a lot of traction, but once they slip off, it's game over. Bronco takes its first win, which is expected for a bot that took second place last year.
And it adds Ring of Fire to the long list of bots that it has defeated. You never really know what to expect from Ring of Fire though, so I honestly have no idea what the rest of the season is going to look like for them. Anyway, up next we've got Boltergeist versus War Easy. Boltergeist was a bot that competed in Season 2. They got no wins because their hammer was absolutely terrible. It was really weak. It didn't do no damage. There were a few times, or at least one time I can remember, where it did get a piece off of another bot, but it just did not have a lot of power in it, especially not compared to other hammer bots like Beta. But now, this year, their hammer is huge. It's the heaviest hammer in the competition, and it can really pack a punch.
War Easy, on the other hand, is a very tall vertical spinner. We don't see a lot of those in this competition.
Hey, the last time we saw a new bot with a tall vertical spinner was Monstrosity, and we all know how they turned out. So, War Easy might be a bot to look out for this year. Let's take a look at their first fight. Let the bot battle begin. Uh-oh. Boltergeist box rush War Easy, but lost a piece. Heavy hammer swinging around, landing some shots for War Easy's weapon, and taking some hammer shots of their own. War Easy really has the ability to push.
War Easy definitely has better traction.
I don't know about traction, you see the wheels slipping all over the arena floor. Oh, those guys tried to get something going there, but didn't work. Starting to see that last piece on Boltergeist come loose. Probably going to come off before this fight ends. Uh-oh. War Easy getting stuck. Looks like Boltergeist isn't able to keep its hammer in the upright position. Oh, this is a successful pin for any hit. Unfortunately, oh, got a piece off. Starting to walk their way back into this fight.
But is it too little too late?
Maybe they can get War Easy's weapon belt off by hitting it with a hammer. Or pin it in the corner. Boltergeist can't pin. We've seen that from this fight already. Once again, remember that Boltergeist does not have any wins. They went 0-3 in the only season they competed.
That last piece of Boltergeist is still on.
Yeah, I said it's probably going to come off before the fight ends. Now watch, it's never going to come off.
Ever again.
Final minute of the fight. Seems kind of easy, but I think I might give War Easy the slight edge. They're ahead on damage. Oh, look at this. Boltergeist picks them up. Now what are they going to do with them? War Easy managed to escape though.
There goes the piece.
Alright, now maybe anything else I say won't come through. Boltergeist doesn't look cool anymore. That those black pieces. Uh-oh, now it's stuck on its own piece. War Easy doesn't feel like, oh, but they free themselves. And now they land some hits on War Easy. They seem to be getting stuck over there with that piece. War Easy with another dash into Boltergeist. Alright, well I know 10 seconds to go, so despite the fact that Boltergeist got stuck in the screws, they will not be counted out. There are 3 things the judges take into account when they score a fight. Aggression, damage, and control. Which one of these do you think had the biggest impact on this fight?
Well, War Easy took off 1, 2, 3 of Boltergeist pieces, whereas Boltergeist only took off 1 of War Easy's parts. So I think we know who won the damage category. When you look at control and aggression, however, things get tricky.
Yeah, it seems really hard to say who was more aggressive in this one. Both bots seemed like they used their weapons equally throughout the whole fight. I'm glad we're not the ones judging this fight.
We are the ones judging this fight.
Oh yeah. Well, control also seemed even to me throughout most of the fight, but one thing that stood out to me was Boltergeist getting stuck on their own piece near the end of the fight, and then getting stuck in the screws. That's a definite lack of control for them. So maybe that'll give War Easy the advantage in that category on the scorecard.
Well, even if Boltergeist doesn't win this match, I'm glad we got to see their new design working.
Let's head to the box for that decision right now. The results from the judges are in. We have a split decision. Judge 1 scored the battle for War Easy. Judge 4 scored the battle for Boltergeist. Judge 2 scored the battle for your winner, Boltergeist. Well, it was a close call, but Boltergeist ends up walking away with their first win.
Don't you mean driving away?
Shut up.
Our next fight has another rookie, Total Chaos.
Total Chaos is an interesting new design we've got this year. It's a lifter bot, but they've got these toad hands on the side that kind of grapple opponents and enclose them near the front of that lifter. We don't really see any bots that have this kind of design. I mean, we have lifters, but none of them have any way of enclosing their opponents near the front. And this bot is pretty similar to Duck, so if those toad hands help, maybe this bot could be a direct upgrade to Duck. But before we can call them as good as Duck, first they have to get past Witch Doctor. Let's head to the box to see how our last new bot does. Let the bot battle begin. Alright, let's see who has the low ground, because we all know that's going to be important. Total Chaos goes straight to the corner and proceeds to get stuck. Witch Doctor 2 looking at it, confused. Total Chaos makes its way out, and now Witch Doctor rips some pieces off of it. Oh, they have Total Chaos suspended on top of their wedge. Uh-oh. Total Chaos sees the opportunity to get under Witch Doctor and pin them. Now Witch Doctor underneath them and pulverizes them. They're just landing head to head, but it looks like Witch Doctor's winning the exchanges most of the time. Total Chaos has its moments though. Remember, Witch Doctor can't self-fight. Total Chaos can just get one successful flip. That's going to be the end of the fight. But they have to get their force. We're almost a minute through the fight, and they have not done that. They're stuck in the corner. Their lifter is too low to the ground for them to drive. That's another problem they have to deal with. Here's Witch Doctor underneath them again. Hitting them in the corner, pushing them around the box, just giving them a tool. So I hear you're new to the competition. Let me show you around. Alright, Witch Doctor separates. Total Chaos looks a little dazed and confused. The only damage we've seen so far is piece off of, oh, there's the second piece off of Witch Doctor. Oh, Total Chaos with another push. A frog hand gets ripped right off. I'm sorry, not a frog hand, a toad hand. Witch Doctor's starting to rack up the damage. Rival 2, in his attempt to not get involved with the fight, also forgot to do commentary. As Total Chaos is spinning around, they got 1 minute to try and pull off this knockout, because if they don't get that accomplished, I think Witch Doctor might win this fight. They're dominating in control. Damage is probably equal. Uh-oh, that was a bit close. Witch Doctor, you gotta be careful. I wonder if they can throw Witch Doctor out of the arena like that. Witch Doctor escapes. They've gotta be liable after that. Uh-oh, that was so close. Time's ticking down. Total Chaos is losing opportunities to flip over Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is just becoming more and more confident that they're going to win this fight. Actually, they have even less time, because if they do it after 10 seconds, it will not be a knockout. Here's Witch Doctor propping Total Chaos on its side and then flipping that back over. Total Chaos with another good lift there, but it's not a knockout. Oh, they get the top piece off. A strong finish by Total Chaos, trapping Witch Doctor in that corner.
I had high hopes for Total Chaos.
Why? They look like Duck, the two-time champion and one-time runner-up across 3 seasons. I guess Total Chaos was just not prepared for the complete assault that Witch Doctor delivered to them in this fight. Witch Doctor has always been a well-driven bot, but it's not very often we get to see them put on a performance like that, where they're just controlling their opponent for the entire fight. So, well done to them.
Well, they didn't control the fight the whole time. Total Chaos got a few good lifts, and almost had Witch Doctor upside down.
Will that be enough to save them in the eyes of the judges? There's only one way to find out. results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Witch Doctor.
Well, this was a strong start for Witch Doctor's season, and although Total Chaos didn't win, at least their bot worked and did what it was supposed to.
And now, it is time for our main event between Witch Doctor 2 and Bite Force. This is going to be a clash of two really powerful vertical spinners. Let's see how these two compare with each other. There's two things that stand out to me in this fight. The bot's weapon reach and their ground clearance.
Well, Bite Force definitely has the advantage in reach. Witch Doctor's weapon is hidden behind that wedge, and they have to get really close to their opponent to hit them.
And as for the ground game, I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know how this is gonna end up. I mean, Bite Force has those forks, which seem to be pretty low to the ground, but they're kind of fragile, so maybe if Witch Doctor's wedge ends up being lower than them somehow and catches them at a weird angle, Bite Force could lose all its forks and lose all its ground clearance. Then again, maybe Witch Doctor will lose its wedge early on in the fight, and then they'll have no way of getting underneath Bite Force.
It's going to be a toss-up, but either way, I'm very excited to see it.
I can't wait to watch this main event either. Let's head to the box and get right to it. Let the box battle begin. Bite Force with the box rush, but already missing a piece. Here's Witch Doctor getting to the back. Who's going to win the pushing game? Witch Doctor appears to be stuck on the wall. Bite Force landing some shots. And Witch Doctor's already missing a piece. Uh-oh, are they stuck on those forks? Well, there goes the wedge. There goes any chance Witch Doctor 2 had of getting underneath Bite Force. Bite Force turning around to face the wall. You know, we've seen this. Oh! Big chunk of parts missing from Bite Force. So they shove Witch Doctor 2 in the screws.
Looks like very shortly there's going to be no wedges left in this match.
Bite Force is just so good at controlling its opponents. We've even seen it push people from the back before, like they're doing right here. They've got a pin on Witch Doctor 2 and another one. Doctor 2 is just stuck there. So they tried to turn around and go in with that spinner. That just did not work. Bite Force is so low to the ground they can get under box even when going from behind. Witch Doctor 2 really struggling. The other lead Bite Force. Looks like Witch Doctor 2 is oversteering at some point. Here's Bite Force with another pin. It's definitely winning control so far. Witch Doctor 2, there's absolutely nothing they can do when Bite Force pins them. Maybe Bite Force could try getting around to the side and trying to rip that ribcage off, or is he going to flip him over in the screws? Very likely. They got him up there. Witch Doctor trying to escape. Bite Force going at it again. They're not letting Witch Doctor get out of that corner. Witch Doctor just trying to do something to look active in this fight. Here's a small hit against Bite Force. Here's a miss. Bite Force with another pin. Maybe they can use that pulverizer to get the ribcage off of Witch Doctor. I'll have to do it fast though, only 20 seconds left. Bite Force's strategy of turning around and pinning people from the back may not be as entertaining as some of the other bots, but man, does it sure get the job done. Here we see once again why Bite Force is such a successful bot.
That spinner is only half the reason they're successful. Their ability to control their opponent has helped them win many fights.
Yeah, and we saw that on display in this fight. There were a ton of moments where Bite Force had Witch Doctor in a pin up against the wall. Too many for me to care to count them all, to be honest.
The one thing Witch Doctor 2 has going for them is damage. They knocked 5 of Bite Force's pieces off.
Will that be enough to get them the win? You never know. Let's see what happened. The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Bite Force. Well, Bite Force has shown that it is the dominant vertical spinner. No surprise there. I'm sure this success will continue throughout the season, and they'll have another deep run this year.
That was an impressive win by Bite Force. We also saw dominant wins tonight from Witch Doctor and Bronco.
There were a lot of close fights here as well. We saw 2 split decisions this episode, Boltergeist and War Easy and Sir Toxelot versus Black Devil. We also started the episode with 2 turnarounds. Tangerine was being destroyed by Tombstone, but Tombstone died and Tangerine survived. And then the Claw was bullying Jackpot around the box, but Jackpot managed to flip them over and pull off the win. Overall, I thought this was a pretty action-packed episode. I hope you thought so too, and I will see you in the next episode of Explosive Hits Hexbug Battlebots.